There's a dangerous town in the county down one morning last July. Down a boring green came a streetcar lane, and she smiled as she passed me by. But she looked so sweet from her 2 brown feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a poking elf, I had to shake myself to be sure I was standing there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town. Oh, maid, I've seen like this round Colleen that I met from county town. As she onward said, just picked my head and looked with a feeling queer. And I says I to a passerby, who's the maid with the nut brown hair. He smiled at me and replied so sweet as the gem of a monarch's crown. Then rose in again from the banks of the bench and the star of the county town. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town. Oh, maid, I've seen the town Colleen that I met in the county town. I'll surely be there, and I'll dress in my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right for a smile from my nut brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke, no ox I'll yoke, till my flower turns to rust golden brown. And smiling bright by my own fireside is the star of the county town. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town. Oh, maid, I've seen like the sweet Colleen that I met in the county town. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town. Oh, maid, I've seen like the sweet Colleen that I met in the county town. Thank you. Well, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. We are the Dublinaires. My name is Stuart Marcus. Some of you know me from my other band called Gathering Time. You've played here before. Thank you. Thank you. And to my right is Efrat Shapiro, all the way from somewhere in New Jersey.
I used to live out there in Queens.
That's right. I forgot about that. I've only known you in New Jersey. That song was called Star of the County Down. Some of you were singing along by one Cathal McCarvey, who lived from 1866 to 1927. And County Down is in the northeast of Ireland. It's where the city of Belfast is to be found. And this one, we're going to let Efrat sing this one. It was written by someone named Francis McPeak, whose lifespan spanned the century turn from 1885 to 1971, so all the changes he saw. And the melody originally was called from a Scottish folk tune called The Breeze of Balquhidder. Now, thyme was often used sort of as a perfume. Young ladies would pick a sprig of it and stick it in their hair or in their ear to have the same effect. But in English and Irish folklore, every herb has sort of a hidden meaning. And the hidden meaning of thyme is innocence. So when you say to pick wild mountain thyme, perhaps there's something else going on.
Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will tower of your clear and crystal fountain, and on his head shall bow all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain town, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? If my true love he were gone, I would surely find another to go wild mountain town, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain town, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain town, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go?
Thank you. All right, perhaps something not quite as romantic and innocent. This is a song that was written in the early 1800s, and it was originally written as a temperance song to encourage people to give up the drink by telling them how much better their life would be without it. And the irony is now it's become a very, very popular drinking song. By the way, I see a few people who look like they might know the clapping part in the middle of the chorus. If you do, feel free to show everybody else. I played the wild rover for many years, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. Now I'm returning with gold and great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no day never, no day never, no more will I play the wild rover, no never, no more. I went to a tavern I used to frequent, and I told the landlady my money was spent. I asked her for credit, she said to me nay. Such a custom as yours I could have any day, and it's no day never, no day never, no more will I play the wild rover, no never, no more. I pulled from me pocket, 10 sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. Says she, I have whiskey and wines of the best, and the words that I said sure were only in jest, and it's no nay never, no nay never, no more will I play the wild rover, no never, no more. Confess what I've done, and pray that they'll take back their prodigal son. And if they forgive me as of times before, then I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no day never, no day never, no more will I play the wild rover, no never. Thank you. Well, one good song about a rover deserves another, I think. This is a song that's newer in the spectrum of Irish folk songs. It only goes back to the 1930s or so. But besides great music, another Irish tradition is telling tall tales. And this one is kind of that also. Tells the tale of an impossibly large ship and what happens to it. And interestingly enough, in the last verse, the crew is all felled by a measles outbreak, so what was old is new again. Ready? And by the way, this one has a New York connection as well. 1, 2, 3. Of our Lord, 1806, we set sail from the fair cove of Cork. We were bound far away with a cargo of bricks for the fine city hall in New York. In a very fine craft, she was rigged fore and aft, and oh how the trade winds drove her. She had 23 masts and withstood several blasts. They called her the Irish Rover. There was Barney the Eagle from the banks of the Lee. There was Hogan from County Tyrone, and a chap called McGurk, who was scared stiff of work, and a chap from Westmeath called Malone. There was Charlie O'Toole, who was drunk as a rule, fighting Bill Casey from Dover. There was Julie from Blair, who was strong as a bear, and was skipper of the Irish Rover. We had 1,000,000 bales of old Bailey goats' tails. We had 2,000,000 buckets of stone. We had 3,000,000 sides of old blind horses' hides. We had 4,000,000 packets of bone. We had 5,000,000 hogs, we had 6,000,000 dogs, 7,000,000 barrels of porter. We had 8,000,000 bags of the best Sligo rags in the hold of the Irish roller. Sailed 7 years when the measles broke out and the ship lost her way in a fog, and the whole of the crew was reduced just to two. 'Twas myself and the captain's old dog. Then the ship hit a rock, what a terrible shock. Then she heeled right over, turned 9 times around, and the poor old dog was drowned. I'm the last of the Irish rover. Gonna do a couple of famous Irish songs now. These are possibly two of the most famous, most enduring American Irish songs ever written, and they were both written by a guy named Chauncey Alcott. Not exactly an Irish-sounding name now, is it? He was born in Buffalo. However, his mother was an Irish immigrant, so he does come by it honestly. But he moved to New York, and this is going back to around the turn of the last century. And he was a famous stage actor, actually, in New York. He acted on Broadway shows and wrote for them as well. And these are two songs that you probably know, but only when we get to the chorus.
Feel free to join us.
Yes, when we get to the chorus, feel free to join in. But I'm surprised always if there's more than 1 or 2 people in the room that actually know the verses. Oh, that's what you're saying.
There's a tear in your eyes, and I'm wondering why, for it never should be there at all. With such power in your smile, sure as storm you'd beguile, so there's never a teardrop should fall. When your sweet melting laughter's like some fairy song, and your eyes twinkle bright as can be, you shall laugh all the while and all other times smile, and now smile a smile for me. When Irish eyes are smiling, true 'tis like the morning spring. In the lips of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, should they steal your heart away? For your smile is a part of the love in your heart, and it makes even sunshine more bright. Like the linnet's sweet song, coming all the day long, comes your laughter so tender and light. For the springtime of life is the sweetest of all, and there's never a care or regret. But while springtime is ours, throughout all of youth's hours, let us smile each chance we get. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like the morning spring. In the little Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. And when Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they'll steal your heart away. Oh, when Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. In the little Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away. Thank you.
All right, we're going to do another one of Chauncey Alcott's. And this one, again, you'll recognize it when we get to the chorus. By the way, there's an old saying, for those who are fans of the blues, if it sounds like it might be a double entendre, it is. And the same can kind of hold true for Irish folk songs as well. So when he says, "She may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose." I just gave it away now, didn't I?
You did.
If you listen, I'll sing you a sweet little song of a flower that's now drooped and dead. Yet it's dear to me than all of its mates, though each holds aloft his proud head. It was given to me by a girl that I know. Since we've met, Faith, I've known no repose. She is dearer by far than the sky's nearest star, and I call her my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. We may search everywhere, yet none may compare to my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows. And someday for my sake, she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose. They may sing of the roses which by other names would smell just as sweetly, they say. But I know that my rose would never consent to that sweet name taken away. Her glances are shy whene'er I pass pass by the bower where my true love grows. My one wish has been that someday I may win the heart of my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. You may search everywhere, yet none may compare to my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows. Someday for my sake she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose once more. My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. They search everywhere, but none they compare to my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows. Someday for my sake she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose.
Warming up. You'll see.
There you go. Oh. Yeah, you ready for a fiddle tune or three?
So, welcome to Clap Along or Stomp Along. The question is, will you be able to keep up?
Will I be able to keep up?
Hope that's the goal, is to make it so we can't. But we'll see.
I think that was the best I've done so far.
Yeah, you picked up.
This is why I have to pan on stage.
Worked up a little bit of sweat on that one.
Always.
Well, could you use a shot of something strong after that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do another good drinking song. And this one follows the theme of a popular ballad theme. A ballad being a song that tells a story. It doesn't have to be a love story, frequently is, but there were ballads about palace intrigues and about battles and murders and things like that. And well, this one is just a tale of misadventure, a robbery, if you will. And, you know, when they're young, women seem to go for the rogues. And eventually they mature and go for nice guys like me. Are you ready? So this is a highwayman ballad that has been dated in one form or another back to the year 1650 or so. And it was popular in the Americas when we were colonies. As I was going over the Cork and Kenny mountains, I came on Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced me pistol and then produced me rapier, saying stand and deliver, for a hand the pull to shiver. Who shot him,
Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
He counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in the pocket and I brought it home to Jenny. She cried and she swore that she never would deceive me. But the devil take the women, for they never can be easy. Who shot him,
Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o,
there's whiskey
in the jar.
All for to have a slumber. I dreamed of golden jewelry, and sure it was no wonder. But Jenny drew the charges, and she filled them up with water, and ran to Captain Farrell to await there for the slaughter. Who shot her down to the town?
Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
'Twas early in the morning, just before I rose to travel. On the road a band of horsemen, and with them Captain Farrell. I first produced me pistol, for she stole away me rapier. I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken. Who shot him,
Whack for the daddy-o,
Back for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If anyone can help me, it's my brother in the army. I know not now if he is based in Cork or in Killarney. I know if I could find him, we'd be roaming in Kilkenny. And I know he'd treat me better than the target sport and Jenny. Who shot him,
whack for the daddy-o.
But for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. carriages are rolling, and some who take delight in the hurling and the bowling. But I take delight in the juice of the barley, and courting pretty fair maids in the mornings bright and early. We're shouting to the Dublinaires,
Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Thank you. Right, so an Irish woman that I worked with a long time ago insisted that the song was originally written by Brian Boru. That was the first full king of Ireland to unite all the kingdoms. I think she was talking a little bit of Blarney there, but it's perhaps one of the best known of all Irish songs. The melody actually predates the lyrics. The melody by itself is known as Londonderry Air. An air meaning a melody. That's why we're the Dublinaires.
Greensleeves.
Not Greensleeves, no. that was written by King Henry VIII.
Is that right?
Yeah, we're not going to do anything by him. Yeah, I don't like him very much.
Air.
It wasn't very nice. But we're gonna let Efrat sing this one also. So the lyric was written in 1910 by one Frederick Weatherly.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Cause I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But if he come and all the roses die, and I am dead has dead. I well maybe you'll come and find that place where I am living, and there you'll kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall feel the soft you tread above me, and then my grave will richer, sweeter be, for you will bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall rest in peace until you come to me, and I shall rest in peace until you come to me. Thank you.
It was being written in 1910 against the background of the great Irish immigration, great migration, when for so many people it was a one-way trip. When they left, they knew what they were leaving their family behind. You can see why that song resonated and became just kind of one of the immortal ones in the American folk lexicon. Something a little cheery, but a little more cheery, but no less sentimental. This song, well, you probably have all heard Bing Crosby sing it, but it was written in 1913 by one James Royce Shannon. He lived from 1881 to 1946, and a generation before Bing Crosby recorded it. It was recorded by the aforementioned Chauncey Alcott. Over in Killarney, many years ago, Mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low, just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way, and I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me today. That's an Irish lullaby. As when she held me then, and I hear her calling to me, as in days of yore, when she would rock me fast asleep beside the cabin door. Hush, now don't you cry. this one, I'm not sure how far back it goes, but it came over with the wave of immigration during the Great Potato Famine and became very popular among Union troops in the Civil War. You see, as these young Irishmen stepped off of the boat with few contacts, if any, and few job prospects, if any, they saw a welcome place that would offer them a home and steady work, meals included, the U.S. Army. They would set up recruiting desks right there on the pier and say, come on down, sign up, 3 hots and a cot, 3 good meals and a place to sleep. And what they didn't know is that a civil war was brewing. But a lot of Irish, or primarily Irish regiments served with great distinction in the Union cause. And this is one song that became very popular, not just among the Irishmen, but among many, many members of the Union forces. And she's going to sing this one. Am I going to sing this one? Okay. There's a little back and forth, yes. Minstrel boy to the war has gone, in the ranks of death you will find him. His father's sword he hath girded on, and his wild heart slung behind him. Land of song, cry the warrior bard, though all the world betrays thee, and sword at least thy rights shall guard, one loyal heart shall praise thee. Minstrel fell, but the foeman's steel could not plow that brave soul under. The heart he loved never spoke again, for he tore its cords asunder, and said, no chains shall sully thee, nor soul of love and bravery. Thy songs were made for the pure and free, they shall never sound in slavery. Minstrel boy will return one day, when we hear the news we all will cheer it. The minstrel boy will return, we pray, torn perhaps in body, not in spirit. Then may he play on his harp in peace, in a world such as heaven has intended, for all the bitterness of man must cease, and every battle must be ended. The last verse, by the way, was actually written during the Civil War. The 2 verses date back, at least 10, 20 years earlier. But I guess the soldiers singing it wanted to write a verse that seemed a little bit more hopeful at the end, so they tacked that one on. I think it's time. Farewell.
We're saying what's more fun, so don't run out of time.
Let's do another fiddle tune.
We have extra time. You could stay late.
Okay. All right then. Okay. Okay.
I just happen to like this one particularly. This one, you'll find it in books of Civil War fiddle tunes, and you'll find it in books of Irish fiddle tunes, and it's actually neither. It was written in the early 1980s by a fiddle player named Jay Unger. He and his wife Molly Mason, who plays the guitar, so we've just got a little role reversal here, are famous in folk circles, and they were friends with a filmmaker named Ken Burns.
Oh.
Now, they also used to host, maybe still do, host a fiddle camp held upstate in Ashokan, New York. And he one day was looking out at the mountains, and with a little bit of sadness as it was ending, and wrote a fiddle tune that captured sort of the melancholy of having to say goodbye to all the new friends you've made and all the fun you've been having. And he wrote this one, and Ken Burns decided it was perfect for the Civil War documentary that he made, the miniseries.
What were my tunes for that? So here's another clapper,
Oh,
if you're ready.
clap on, clap off.
Clap off. Thank you.
Oh, this thing went up again. That's what happened. Stop it.
Let's see. Let's do a song you probably all will know. This is a historical reference also. In its efforts to dominate Ireland, England said, ooh, an easy way to get rid of young Irishmen is to arrest them for some minor crime. And instead of just sentencing them to jail where we'll have to feed them, we'll just deport them to the colonies of Australia. Van Diemen's Land is the best known one of those. And they might be sentenced to 3 or 5 or 7 years transportation, as it was called, but then they were on their own to get home. And since most of them were doing menial jobs working for food, that was kind of unlikely also. So that's the background after which this otherwise rather light-hearted song was written in 1796.
Happens, all these weather changes that make our instruments go happy.
And also beating hard on guitar strings to keep up with a wild fiddler.
If you know this, feel free to sing along. It's definitely a sing-along song. In a neat little town they call Belfast, apprentice to trade I was found. Many an hour of sweet happiness have I spent in that neat little town. Well, a sad misfortune came over me, which caused me to stray from the land, far away from my friends and relations, betrayed by the black velvet band. Here we go! Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Well, I took a stroll down Broadway, meaning not too long to stay. When who should I meet but this pretty fair maid? She came a-traipsing along the highway. She was both fair and handsome. Her neck, it was just like a swan, and her hair, it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Fair maid and a gentleman passing me by. Yes, I knew what she meant to do with him by that look in her roguish black eye. Well, a gold watch she took from his pocket, and she placed it right into me hand. And the very next thing that I knew was I landed in Van Diemen's Land. Here we go! Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Well, before the judge and the jury, next morning I had to appear. And that judge, he says, young man, your case is proven clear. Yes, we'll give you 7 years transportation to be spent far away from the land, far away from your friends and relations. You've been betrayed by that black velvet band. Oh, her eyes, they shone like diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. morning take, I mean, when you are out on the town. You boys beware of the pretty Pauline, for they'll feed you with strong drink, Mariana, till you'll be unable to stand. And the very next thing that you'll know is you've landed in Van Diemen's Land. Here we go! Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Yes, her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band.
Let's see. I think we got to do a song about a good tragedy. Yeah. I mean, there's great Irish drinking songs. There's great Irish ballads that tell interesting stories. I like that one. But the Irish are up there with the best of it when it comes to writing a sentimental tragedy tune. So we got a couple of years now, because you shouldn't be too happy before St. Patrick's Day actually starts. You'll use up all of the happiness. So when I first learned this song, I read that it was about a man who had been a war correspondent during World War I, and he was on his way back, looking forward to seeing his fiancée, and discovering she had died in the great flu outbreak that followed the war. However, further research revealed the song is much older than that. Somebody else who died tragically from things that we wouldn't think of now. People could die from common colds back then, or measles. So this is called "The Rose of Tralee." The pale moon was rising above yon green mountain. The sun was declining beneath the blue sea, when I strayed with my love through yon pure crystal fountain that stands in the beautiful vale of Tralee. She was lovely and fair as the rose of the summer, yet was not her beauty alone that won me. Oh no, 'twas the truth in her eye ever dawning that made me love Mary, the Rose of Tralee. Cool shades of evening their mantles were spreading, and Mary, all smiling, stood listening to me. And all through the valley her pale rays were shedding, when I won the heart of the Rose of Tralee. She was lovely and fair as the rose of the summer, yet was not her beauty alone that won me. Oh no, 'twas the truth in her eye ever dawning that made me love Mary, the Rose of Tralee. In the far fields of India, midst war's dreadful thunder, her voice was a solace and comfort to me. But the chill hand of death has now torn us asunder, and I'm lonely tonight for my Rose of Tralee. She was lovely and fair as the rose of the summer, yet was not her beauty alone that won me. Oh no, 'twas the truth in her eye ever dawning that made me love Mary, the rose of Tralee. She was lovely and fair as the rose of the summer, yet was not her beauty alone that won me. Oh no, 'twas the truth in her eye ever dawning that made me love Mary, the rose of Tralee.
Do you do the unicorns too?
We're going to end with it. Here's one that you probably know, equally tragic. And a couple of decades ago, the Dublin Millennium Commission, so I guess it was in the year 2000, decided that the song is probably written about one Mary Malone who died in the year 1699. But it's as fanciful an accreditation as any, because nobody really knows.
In Dublin's first city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set me eyes on sweet Molly Malone, as she wheeled her wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Well, she was a fishmonger, and sure it was no wonder, for so were her father and mother before, and they wheeled their wheelbarrows through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now her ghost wheels her barrow, drawn streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
Well, we're going to end with two somewhat newer songs that you might know. The first one actually came out just 24 years ago or so. It was written by a guy named Steve Earle, who is one of those crossover artists between folk and country. Well, I'm guessing he wrote this about a semi-autobiography about an experience that he had. The girl from Galway, well, it must not have ended too badly, because she played She played Boron on the recording that he did of it. So, you gonna sing this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I decided to do it as if I am the Galway girl, you know, because what
Galway
about
girl.
her side? Maybe they both thought the other one was going to call. You know, maybe she was upset too. So let's hear her side a little bit.
That's the roll of that.
Well, I took a stroll on the old long walk on a day. I saw a nice man and we stopped to talk on a soft fine day. And I asked you, friend, what's a girl to do? Cause his hair was black and his eyes were blue. And I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl around the salt hill pub cause I'm a Galway girl. Halfway there in the rain came down, and I took him up to my flat downtown on a fine soft day, and I asked you, friend, what's a girl to do? Cause his hair was black and his eyes were blue. So I asked you, friend, and he gave me a whirl, and I lost my heart as a Galway girl. All alone, hard to get home. And I ask you now, tell me what you do. And I ask you now, tell me what you would do. Cause his hair was black and his eyes were blue. Cause I've traveled around, I've been all over this world, and he ain't seen nothing but the Galway girl. That's the Galway girl.
All right, we got time for one more here. So, yes. Yes. Got it right here, just like you printed out for me. First of all, thank you to David Emanuel of EES Entertainment who booked us here. And if you're having a party of some sort and would like to book us, talk to the man in the blue vest over here. And we'd like to say a big thank you to Jackie Nogan, Head of Public Relations for the library, for choosing us, and her assistants,
Hitomi.
And we're going to end up with one more song now. Now, one thing you might not know is that Efrat and I are both Jewish. We wanted to call ourselves the Hebrew Hibernians, but we both found a great love of Irish music, and of course it's infectious. So there are people all over the world who play it, and well, one song that sort of became an Irish song with a Jewish connection was written by a man named Shel Silverstein.
Oh.
Anybody know that name?
Sure.
Famous for writing children's books like Where the Sidewalk Ends and The Missing Piece Meets the Big O?
David, you're in my field here.
But he was a songwriter also. In fact, one of his biggest hits was A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash. Shel Silverstein wrote that one also. Anyways, there's nothing inherently Irish about this song, except there was a big hit for a group called the Irish Rovers in 1962.
Evergreen.
The story. And of course, the Jewish connection also is that
Noah's
it's a story
Ark.
from the Old Testament. Not late one night.
They were green.
Still thinking about the Galway girl. A long time ago, when the earth was green, there's more plants and animals than you'd ever seen. They'd run around free while the earth was being born. The loveliest of all was the unicorns. There was
Green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back owls and some chimpanzees, some rats and elephants that sure as you're born. The loveliest of all was the unicorn.
Seen some sinning and gave him pain, and he says, stand back, I'm gonna make it rain. He says, hey Noah,
I'll tell you what to do. Build me a floating zoo. Hey Lord,
those green
alligators and long-necked geese, some cats and rats and mammals and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants as sure as you're born. Don't you forget my unicorns.
Answered the call, he finished up building the ark just as the rain started to fall. He brought in the animals two by two, and he called out as they came through.
Hey Lord, I got some green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants,
but Lord, I'm no forlorn, just can't find no unicorns. Looked out through the driving rain, them unicorns was hiding, playing silly games, kicking and splashing while the rain was pouring. Oh, them silly unicorns. There was green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees. Noah said, shut the door, 'cause the rain is pouring, we just can't wait for no unicorns. Started moving, it drifted with the tide. The unicorns looked up from the rocks and they cried, and the waters rose up and sort of floated them away.
That's why you have.
That's what we tell the kids.
It's very day.
That's why you'll see no unicorns till this very day. You'll see
green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants as sure as you're born. Never gonna see no unicorn. You'll see green alligators and long-necked geese, humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants as sure as you're born. Never gonna see no unicorn.
My name is Stuart Marcus. Together we are the Dublinaires. Thank you all for coming out this afternoon. See you again soon. Oh, don't know that one. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Hold on, let me end it, Jenny. Okay, guys, I'll try to post the stuff tomorrow and for Sunday. Talk to you guys later. Bye.